So, I've been trying to stretch and exercise my back muscles the last couple days because I don't know what I did, but I kind of tweaked my back that it really hurts and it sucks when you work in a job that you're constantly either lifting a ladder or climbing up and down a ladder or onto people's houses all day. But that's not important. Today, I want to talk about this. I briefly referenced this in the favorite things video for 2024. This is the cracked Nitrodeck Plus. It is the successor to the original Nitrodeck controller that they made, and I'm going to talk about it briefly, but I kind of want to compare the two. Spoiler alert, I don't know if you noticed, but the Nitrodeck Plus is currently switchless. So if that gives a constellation of anything, but I want to briefly talk about this and show you some of the stuff, and then I kind of want to compare both how they both look and just my experiences with both the controllers. So let's check out this one. So this is the Nitrodeck Plus. All around, it looks very, very similar to the original Nitrodeck. But I do like the front of it. It has a clear, like, plastic look to it, kind of like the front of the Pro controller, which is very nice. The thumbsticks have the purple accents down here as well. Overall, the biggest thing probably to notice about the Switch Nitrodeck Plus compared to the original Nitrodeck, they actually moved the placement of the thumbsticks. So you can see on the original Nitrodeck, they had the right thumbstick down here, kind of like on the Switch. And on the Nitrodeck Plus, they've moved it so that it's more of an ergonomic feeling, which that's really nice. I know a lot of people prefer to have it like that, but to each their own. Still have your nice D-pad, A, B, X, Y buttons here. This is your screen capture button, and then this is the cracked button that also doubles as the home button for the Switch, plus and minus up there. You have your triggers, left, right, and LZ, right, RZ up top there. And then on the back, it's pretty much the same as the original. It has the textured right here where your hands sit and the four programmable buttons and the nice little kickstand for the Switch. This isn't really super important detail, but the NFC tag is moved up higher than it is on the original. On the original one, it's down here, and then on this one, it's up here. Not really super important, but just pointed out, and then the program button right here as well. So yeah, overall, the Nitrodeck Plus, it's a really good controller, and it makes a lot of good quality of life improvements over the original. For example, on the original one, if we slide the Switch in, on the original one, if you remember from the video that I did, the trigger to release it is on the back here, and on the original one, you have to hold the trigger and then push the Switch out to get it out of the controller if you want to take it out for charging or especially for docking purposes. With the Nitrodeck Plus, it actually has a little spring mechanism now. So if you push on the trigger, it actually pushes it up. Now, you can definitely hear it, but it might be hard to see on camera. It actually pushes the Switch up, so it's easier to slide it out of the Nitrodeck Plus. And then the other thing, which is probably the biggest quality of life improvement, was they actually changed the output port on this one. That is actually that this controller can actually substitute your Switch dock. So they do it with this little dongle, which is a USB-C to HDMI dongle. I've tried it with other dongles or other HDMI adapters that I have at my house. Currently, none of them actually work. This is the only one that actually works. So that's something to keep in mind, that I think they want you to use the adapter that it came with. But basically, you'd have this on this side with your HDMI connected to whatever screen you're projecting your deck onto, and then you have the input for charging, and then bada bing, bada boom, you have a full Switch deck. The thing that does limit, though, I don't know if any of you were people that did this, but with the original one, if you had the Switch in the dock, you could plug a USB cable into your dock and then use your Nitrodeck as a controller. You can still do that with this one, you just can't do it while it's being used as a dock, which obviously that makes sense, but that's just something to note. Still has hollow effect joysticks, and they are nice and they sound very lovely. Don't worry about stick drift. And honestly, those are probably the biggest quality of life improvements that they made with this controller, is the dock compatible and the release for the Switch. And also, the other thing that I wanted to note, this one, the joysticks that this comes with, I like these better than the ones that come with the original Nitrodeck. Those ones come with concave ones, or it's curved inward. You can change them, they're interchangeable, but I just personally like that better than the other ones. But that is basically all of the new things with the Nitrodeck Plus. So, moment of truth, is the Nitrodeck Plus worth the upgrade over the original Nitrodeck? And honestly, I think it's up to the user. It's personal preference. I will say, if you didn't purchase the original one, you might as well just go for this one. It has the dock compatible. It has the release. It's got the nicer colors on it with the plastic. It looks nicer. But the thing that keeps me, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Nitrodeck Plus was switchless, and this had my Switch in it. This is just me, but I like the thumbstick layout better on the original one rather than the Nitrodeck Plus. Only because a lot of Switch games, you need the buttons, and I just feel like it's more comfortable to hold it like this and use the buttons rather than on this one and have your thumb down here to use the buttons. That being said, you can program all the buttons on here out of the box. This one is programmed for your A button. This one is programmed for your B button. And then on the back as well, I believe these two, this is X, this is Y, and then these ones are also A and B. Which that is different on the original Nitrodeck. I believe, and this one out of the box, both of the triggers were mapped to the triggers up top. So that is a little different. So it has more of the programmable buttons that you can map to those triggers. I personally I'm not into that. I mean, because then you have to take your thumb off of the stick. Theoretically, you could program, like, you could just have one of these buttons programmed, or even program the ABXY buttons to the triggers, and then you don't even have to take your thumbs off the sticks, and it's just using the triggers. I'm not a fan, just because I'm so used to playing with ABXY, and I don't feel like relearning different buttons. But that is me personally, and that is why I keep it in the original Nitrodeck, even with all of its flaws. The other weird thing with the Nitrodeck Plus, certain chargers don't work. I went to use it the other day, and in my backpack I carry I'll show you real quick. This is the charger that I carry in my backpack. It is the MySateshi 108 watt GAN charger. I tried to use this for the Nitrodeck Plus to use the Switch as a dock. It didn't work. I don't know if it's just too high of an output for the Switch to handle, and so the Nitrodeck knew that and just said, no, not happening. Even when I swapped out the ports, because I believe the first port is 65 watts, and then 65, or it has to be an odd number to make 108, but it's like 65 or something, and then the other two are 30 watt ports, or one's a 45 and one's a 30. I don't remember off the top of my head. But that being said, it didn't like this one. I had to get I found an Anchor Nano lying around, or you can just use the actual switch, the switch adapter that comes with the switch, and you can use that instead. But that's another thing to note, and that could be a good thing. So it keeps you from bricking your switch from using bad chargers. But ultimately, whichever one you want, that is totally up to you. It's personal preference. I just personally like the layout of the original one, so that's the one I've been sticking to. But yeah. Also, I was kind of mad that the original one didn't come with it, but the Nitrodeck Plus also comes with this little nice bag that you can put it in to protect your Switch, or protect like with your Switch in it, because the screen's obviously exposed. It just says cracked on the front, and then just on this side it says Nitrodeck Plus. Obviously, if I don't have a Nitrodeck Plus in there, it's obviously not the same thing, but it's a nice little bag, and both of them fit in it, so I use it because they didn't come with a container to put it in. But that being said, I digress. That is all I have to say in this. I will leave links to just Crack's website and leave links to their website and to both the controllers so that you can go check them out for yourself if you guys are interested. Let me know down in the comments which one do you like better, whether from personal experience or just from watching this or anything else that you may have seen. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from the gamers on what is the better layout. That's all I got to say in this video. I hope you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.